I will not vilify sugar, and I certainly will not vilify alcohol. But let's be honest, we know that either of those things in excess are not good for us. But what I want to talk about is sugar alcohol. So maybe you've heard of sugar alcohol, maybe you're hearing about it for the first time. It is in more foods than you could probably imagine right now. And a lot of times the question comes up, how do these affect my body the way that sugar does? Or does it affect it at all? And it's a great question because typically these days you will find things such as sorbitol, maltol, mannitol, xylitol, and erythritol in a lot of products. In fact, if you use the sweetener Swerve, that is a sugar alcohol. And that type of sweetener is used today in a lot of protein bars, different diet type products. Anything that claims to be, completely sugar free is usually using some type of sugar alcohol as a sweetener. Now, let's break it down. Does it affect your body the same way sugar or alcohol does? Yes and no. So it definitely does not affect your body the way alcohol affects your body. But when it comes to sugar, it's very interesting because what sugar alcohol is meant to do, it's meant to replace sugar. Now, does it have the same impact on your blood glucose and your insulin? It does not, which is why a lot of keto products or a lot of paleo products or things that are low carbohydrate based types of meal plans use products that have these sugar alcohols in it, because the whole purpose of the program is to try to eliminate or at least dramatically reduce the amount of sugar in your diet, which obviously for all of us is a really good thing. But the challenge that we have with any of these sugar alcohols is the same challenge that we find with other types of artificial sweeteners. And that is, if you are having them in large quantities, chances are it's going to stimulate your desire for sweets no differently than sugar does. Now, what you do after that, how you respond, I mean, listen, that's on us, right? Some people are going to respond and crave more of that sweetness, and they're either going to continue to get it from these sugar alcohol or artificially sweetened products, or they're going to go and just get it from sugar. So which one are you going to do? Now, the other thing related to these sugar alcohols, which I think is really important, because some of you are having an experience right now with sugar alcohols and you don't even know it. It's like kind of weird to be in a relationship that you don't know about, right? But that's exactly what's happening with some of you right now, because you are eating these protein bars. And if you read the label, there's no added sugar, which is great. But you might notice that there's a large amount of sugar alcohols. Now, what I want you to do is take note of how you feel after you eat that product. Now, for many people, myself included, if I eat sugar alcohols in any large quantity, and by large quantity, it might be 10 grams or more for me personally, I notice some level of indigestion. I notice I'll have some type of digestive type of discomfort. And maybe you've noticed that too, that you eat a protein bar and suddenly your stomach just feels wrecked. You love the fact that it's low carb. You love the fact that there's no sugar in it and it's got protein. So it serves as that snack that seemingly is harmless. And from that blood glucose and insulin spiking standpoint, it really is harmless. But the challenge is, how does your stomach feel now? And for many of us, we don't even realize that this is seeping into many of the products that we are buying off the shelves, right? Or things that are supposed to be beneficial to us because they are low carb or keto or gluten-free, right? So if we're not being conscientious of this, we don't even know what's happening. And we're just wondering, hey, why does my stomach feel completely wrecked? And this is the reason. So what is a sugar alcohol? Well, a sugar alcohol is anything that ends in OL. So if you are looking on a package and trying to figure out, are there sugar alcohols in it? Typically it will be listed on there specifically sugar alcohols. It's going to come right underneath the carbohydrates. Then if you look at the ingredients, you look for whatever ends in OL. The other type of sugar alcohol that might not be listed in OL is vegetable glycerin. So it does break down, or it is made into a sugar alcohol, but it just may be listed a little bit differently on your package. But typically anything that ends in this OL is a sugar alcohol. Now, here's the thing. Some sugar alcohols may not have that much of a negative impact on your digestive system. Others, you may feel immediately. And I know that from experience, when I have sorbitol, typically not the best experience. Erythritol, definitely not the best experience. But xylitol, okay. I don't necessarily like the aftertaste. And that's the other thing that you'll start to notice too, that some of these things have a bit of an aftertaste to them. And that aftertaste is typically a result of the sugar alcohol. So anyway, I just wanted to provide that for some of you guys, because I know that there's a lot of questions around these sugar alcohols. It's not anything that we've been taught about. It's something that you're only maybe in the last decade or so starting to see put onto these labels, but watch out for them. As I said, from that blood glucose and insulin spiking standpoint, which we are so focused on, not necessarily a bad thing. From a gut microbiome and digestive issues standpoint, might be something that you want to limit or eliminate if you're currently having them in vast amounts. So with that said, hope that helped you guys today. As always, we will be back here with you tomorrow. Take care.